with an update on a future streaming deal between AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Going over dates for WWE in the United Kingdom, Ringside News wrote WWE Live storms back to the UK in April 2024. WWE Live is making a triumphant return to the United Kingdom, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Mark your calendars because you won't want to miss this. Here's the inside scoop on the dates and locations. Birmingham, UK, brace yourselves for action on Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. Cardiff, Wales, get ready for the Rumble on Thursday, April 18th, 2024. London, UK, the capital city, will be shaking on Friday, April 19th, 2024. Belfast, Northern Ireland, the showdown hits Belfast on Saturday, April 20th, 2024. With MJF set to have a role in the upcoming Iron Claw movie, The Hollywood Reporter said Dwayne Johnson, John Cena, and Dave Bautista have helped mark out a very well-trodden and star-studded path from wrestling ring to action film set at 27. Friedman, better known as MJF, the All Elite Wrestling Champion, whose seemingly naturally villainous and always entertaining ringside persona has seen him become a firm fan favorite as the so-called people's scumbag, could well be the next to make the journey and will soon be seen opposite Zac Efron in A24's upcoming wrestling drama, The Iron Claw. Touching on the state of the AEW Women's Division, TBS champion Chris Statlander told Ring the Bell, "I think there's always going to be a desire for more. I think everyone is always left wanting more and wondering what could happen if we were given more. I hate to think that the women are just like a niche or a special attraction type thing, because my whole career before AEW was even a thing, all I ever said was that I wanted to be a great wrestler. Not a great women's wrestler, I wanted to be a great wrestler. I do wish that we could get more time because I do feel if we're given time with the right people, we're going to put on a show that no one's ever going to forget. We're just always going to keep fighting an uphill battle no matter what we do, not just in wrestling, but in all of life, because that's just what happens when you're a woman sometimes. I like to think that there are people that have our backs. I know that there are people that have our backs, and the more people show that they want to see us, the more that we're going to get to do." Asked about the dominance of Roman Reigns as the undisputed Universal Champion, LA Knight said on WWE's The Bump, "I'm going to tell you my assessment. My assessment is everybody's sick of that. Here's a guy, he's got about one title defense every 3-4 months, 4 defenses a year, and we're celebrating the fact that he's been champion for 1,200 days? You've got to be kidding me. 1,200 days, as impressive as that is, can come to a real quick halt when you find yourself on the business end of a BFT. And that's what I think we're going to find at Crown Jewel. But look, you talk about the tyranny of this revolution is going to walk in and release everybody from that tyranny with a new WWE champion." With Impact Wrestling set to revert back to its previous name of TNA at their Hard to Kill event, Ringside News added that PW Insider noted that Impact Wrestling has already hit the ground running with their TNA rebranding. That being said, the morale backstage is also pretty high with this upcoming change. It was reported that despite not yet being officially known as TNA, the recent Impact Wrestling UK tour listed the promotion as TNA Impact Wrestling in Venue Promotions, sparking curiosity among fans. This intriguing development comes as a precursor to this week's edition of Impact Wrestling on Axis, which promises an enticing main event featuring the Motor City Machine Guns squaring off against the duo of Eric Young and Josh Alexander. Additionally, the episode promises an undercard match featuring Grado taking on Trey Miguel, along with appearances by Trinity and more. The company's decision to potentially embrace the TNA name hints at the significance it holds overseas, with TNA chants resonating throughout packed venues during during the UK tour. This strong fan response adds weight to the argument that the TNA brand has retained its appeal on an international scale. Internally, Impact Wrestling appears to be enjoying a surge in morale among its talent, described as the highest it has been since their time with the company, and one of the most optimistic in recent years. This renewed spirit is fueling excitement for the upcoming year. This excitement is expected to be further amplified when the company returns in January, having completed the construction of a new production studio. As they look ahead to the new year, Impact Wrestling appears to be on the cusp of a transformative and promising phase. Going over a new referee used recently in AEW, Sean Ross Fightful revealed that AEW tried out referee Gina Monty ahead of this past week's AEW Collision show. Talking about a controversial moment during the AEW World Title match between MJF and Kenny Omega on AEW Collision, Bully Ray took aim at the official of that bout, saying on Busted Open Radio, "A table is pulled out, a table is used," right in front of the referee. "How is that not a disqualification?" Bully asked, suggesting that something as simple as a referee bump could have made the moment land better with the WWE Hall of Famer. Ray believes that the sloppy planning wouldn't have flown in WWE. "If me and Mark Henry were wrestling a match for a world championship, you can bet your ass that me and Mark would never sit down and plan to pull out a table right in front of the referee and use it," Bully said, "because we know it would be wrong psychology, and we know that by the time we get through gorilla position, me, Mark, and the referee would have our bags packed and would be fired by Vince McMahon personally." Legendary referee Earl Hebner then said this: "It's either drop me so I don't see it, make it so I don't look stupid, but other than that, it's like nut shots," Hebner explained. "I tell guys, if you got nut shots, tell me now, because I can work around them, but if I see them, I call for the bell." It was then added that, "To me, it takes credibility away from everybody," Bully said later with a caller. The longtime table advocate felt that the way the table was used in the Collision main event not only undermined the match, but the moment itself, as the use added nothing to the contest itself or the stakes. "Don't just use it for the sake of using it," Bully said. "Why is the referee just staring at it? Wrestlers have to be smarter about protecting referees, and referees need to have enough confidence in themselves to speak their mind if the wrestlers aren't protecting them in the first place." When it comes to AEW's plans to have Paul Wight take part in a match at the company's Full Gear event, Sean Ross Fightful reported that Chris Jericho appeared on this past week's Dynamite in a sit-down interview to address Will Hobbs' dominant win against him the previous week on AEW Dynamite. During the course of the interview, Jericho had noted that Hobbs is big, but that he knows someone bigger. We'd mentioned this on our post-AEW Fightful show last week, and it seems fairly obvious, but we'd still gain some inquiries. As of last week, the working plan was for Paul Wight to return to work some sort of match at AEW Full Gear. Wight hasn't wrestled since a Dark Elevation squash in March 2022 and had a handful of matches in September and October of 2021. Paul Wight was discussed for an AEW All-In match at one point involving Satnam Singh that didn't end up happening. Recalling when he joined AEW back in 2020, Sting said this to Sports Illustrated. "AEW President Tony Khan called me and asked me to go out in style. I liked that idea. I couldn't say no. The AEW brand reminds me so much of the WCW brand. Tony allowed me to come back and have some fun, and I'm so grateful for that. It's been a lot of fun." Mentioning his set retirement from pro wrestling at AEW Revolution next year, Sting said during that same interview, "I wanted to finish earlier, maybe in December, but now that Rick is here with me, I want to go longer, all the way to Revolution. All I can say for now is I want people to walk away and say, wow, what an ending. I'll be there 3 weeks away from turning 65 at that point. I want to leave people with a memory that will mean something." For details on the potential announcement of a new streaming deal between AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery, it was said that Fightful Select has learned that one deal may affect the other in certain ways. NBC Universal was eager to land SmackDown, which has been viewed as the top SmackDown show as far as viewership and being football-proof. However, sports may play a role in the dominoes falling. Warner Bros. Discovery contacts spoke with Fightful and confirmed a rumor that we heard that they expect NBCU and USA Network to make a bid on NBA programming rights, which have been a staple of TNT for years. This would likely affect the budget that could exist for USA/Universal getting Raw and NXT as well. NBA is expecting a massive increase for the TV rights in 25 to 26. This would also affect WBD's budget in the event that they somehow lose the NBA. AEW and WBD as of a few weeks ago were unable to come to terms on a deal which we're told would include AEW television rights, pay-per-view, as well as the library. Those at WBD stated that Khan has a particular value that he believes the AEW library is worth. WBD sources that we spoke to said that they've been very happy with the AEW partnership and look for it to continue. When we asked about viewership numbers that are often the talking point, one source there noted that it isn't anything that the company hadn't anticipated, especially going up against football in the fall. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.